Welcome to another episode of Darker Days Radio. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and I am joined by Chigg.
Good morning. How are you today, Chris?
I'm good. It's warm here. It was cold the other day, and it's now warm because it's British weather. Yay. I'm joined by Crystal.
Hello.
And I am joined by David.
Evening.
It looks like he's very warm in sunny France.
It's 20. Yeah, it's 25 degrees, and I just went for a really long bike ride, so I'm hot and sweaty.
Spring has not existed. Let's just put it that way. Right. So yeah, here we are with a review, a bit of a deep dive. I think we're going to plan to do a playthrough at some point of. This isn't a video episode, so there's no point in me showing of Eat the Reich. I do have a physical copy by my side. I will say that it is a pretty book by Rowan, Rook, and Decard. You can actually get it in two flavors. You can get it either with pink page edging or green. I picked pink because the pink was more obnoxious. So yeah,
I think it fits the theme of this book.
Crystal, it was your. I think you had the push for this episode.
Yep.
So if you want to begin, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Okay, so Eat the Reich is I would consider this an indie published game only because Rowan, Rook, and Decard are small press.
Yes.
However, the design of this book and like everything in it is incredibly gorgeous. So yeah, Eat the Reich is you play as like vampires and werewolves eating the faces of Nazis, and it is very violent. I'm going to assume that there's probably going to be a lot of swearing in this episode, so just a heads up for that. And also, if you side on the side of like Nazis and fascism, get the fuck out of here.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. This whole game is about fighting that in a very violent way, both against the NPCs but also against the players. And they are very, very upfront again about that. There is a lot of content warnings. It is great on the content warnings and what this book is and what this book isn't. It is meant to be like a scenario up to the final. It is not like an open world sandbox type of thing. It is meant to play through a story, very similar to like a movie.
So who wrote Eat the Reich?
Grant Howard, the great, the one, the only Grant Howard.
Yeah, he lives down the road from me, it seems. Rook and Decard based in Sheffield. They're down the road. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, so what's the top level pitch of this game then? We said it's you're playing vampires eating Nazis, essentially. I mean, that is the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's hyper violent. I think this is the best
narrative.
way.
I call it a narrative hyper violent game because it's not. Whenever you hear hyper violence, you tend to think, oh, it's going to be massive combat, loads of dice rolling, loads of no. It's narrative combat, allowing you to describe how you rip the Nazi's face off and spread his blood across the wall and beat him to death with his own tooth or something.
I'd also say, and we'll get into this when we look at the dice mechanic, I would actually say it has it's almost like a lighter weight version of Wrath and Glory.
Yeah.
Because of the dice system.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which will then inform a conclusion I have for it about how you can use the game as well. But yeah, I mean, where do you want to start then? Where should we begin?
Well, let's start with the system. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, let's start with the system.
Crystal, you go ahead.
You said what I was going to say, so we're good.
Yay.
Okay, so the system, it uses the Havoc system, which is a D6 system that you build dice pools on based on your stats. And then I believe it's 4s, 5s, and 6s are successes, and everything else is tossed out. And you compare your dice roll to the dice roll of the challenge that's there. I think it's called challenge rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Challenge rating, depending on whether you are attacking something or whether you are trying to complete an objective in an area. One of the nice things about the Havoc system, though, it's described in the book, but they also have it all described on the website. So
yeah,
if
they
you
also
want
have
to-
their own independent book that you can pay what you want. So you can get it for free if you would like, or you can support Rowan, Rook, and Decard for purchasing it. I will say my one comment, and it is because if I didn't know that this was a D6 system, I would have to look at the pictures to know that it's a D6 system.
Yes. I was reading it yesterday, going through and go, I understand what you're saying. You say dice, roll the dice. What dice? What dice am I rolling? What is it? Oh, and then you see it like 3 or 4 pages later, the pictures of the D6.
I thought I was going crazy because I was looking. I was like, where does it say D6? I know the Havoc system is D6, but it doesn't say it anywhere in here. If anyone just were to pick it up, they might be confused for a while. Like on page 5, all they had to do was say this is a D6 system. Yeah. That's it. And then I would know, oh yeah, I just need D6s. Cool.
It's a Havoc system using the D6. That's all they need.
Yeah, because I was like, could you scale this? Could you do like D10s, D20s? You know, like, I don't know.
If you use D10, you'll be falling into vampire. So.
Yeah.
It's 50-50 pass fail. So yeah, you could do that with any even numbered die. Sorry for all of our D13 aficionados out there.
I mean,
that's just the developer in my brain playing around with the system, because there was like, unless I looked at the pictures, I didn't know.
Yeah. So yeah, it's D6. 4 or 5 counts as a success. 6s count as crits, so it counts 2 successes. With 6s also can be used to trigger special abilities. So in that respect, it is analogous to Wrath and Glory, with icons and exalted icons. And in some respects, it's also analogous because the way you spend your successes in the game, you either spend them to, as you said, David, you spend a success, you spend successes to reduce the
target number.
You've got to collect successes to beat the objective, that you're doing. So say you've got to like destroy a tank. A tank would require like 5 successes, so you put them towards that. So in that respect, it's kind of like banking. It's a bit like, well, not really, because you use those for dice.
It's a payment system because you do it for other things too.
But you can. I think you can use those as banking successes and so forth in Wrath and Glory. So to things. That's where the parallel is. Yeah. But yeah, it's that simple. And as you say, like a threat will have, say, I don't know, if it's a unit of troops, would have like a threat of 4, and it would have a goal of like 4 or whatever it is, and then have a threat of 4. So the threat of 4 is how many dice it gets to roll to oppose you, and it's just dice matching at that point. And if they've got any dice left over, they do damage to you. Pretty simple.
Yeah. So so as the player, I'd roll my cache of dice, look at 4s, 5s, and 6s. The GM would roll their cache of dice. They'd get 4, 5s, and 6s, and you kind of match them off. And then, if I have any spare, I can then use them to, if it's an attack, so if it's a unit, I would lower their attack value. Once their attack value gets to 0, they're dead, but they can come back because there's this reinforcements mechanic.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing the objective and you reduce the objective, you've completed it, you've blown up the church, you've found the piece of information. One of the things I really liked about it, reading through it, was it really heavily leans into, when you get those successes and you put it towards whatever it is you're putting towards it, it basically says lean into the storytelling of what the hell you just did. How did you just shoot that guy? Or how did you improve the situation by doing this? It talked about like entering a church. What did the sniper do to help them enter a church? Well, it blew out that light and it took out that machine gunner, and they explained it in a story kind of way. So while it is hyper violent, it lets you explain in beautiful, wonderful, gory detail that hyperviolence. Because it's always okay to punch a Nazi or shoot them in the face.
So there are 5 things that you can do to allocate your dice successes. So it is advancing your objective, eliminating a threat, defending yourself against attacks, feeding on Nazi blood, and then activating a special.
Mm-hmm.
And then blood is pretty much what you expect. It's a pool that you're going to accumulate and spend to do cool shit like activate some ability, etc. So that's pretty good fun. Injuries is also quite simple. So if the enemy has more successes, or sorry, because that's the thing. Like I think it's you. So say you rolled 3 successes and the enemy rolled 2 successes total. You don't have to spend those successes to block theirs. You could just go, look, it's more important for me to kill this target or complete the objective. That means those 2 successes, if they're just regular successes, would go through to damage you. And damage is
the GM never has a critical. They always have just straight successes. So,
but it's pretty simple. As in, like, you know, you get one. If you get 1 damage dealt to you, you roll a d6 on a 1. There's 3 types of damage that can be dealt, types of injuries. If you get 2 done to you, obviously, you know, it's going to take you through a moment it's all knocked out on a column, then you're going to be downed. I think. Yeah. Yep. And if you're downed, that means then, you know, your fellow players are going to have to do some action. You're now actually a new objective that they have to either heal or help to your feet or something like that.
Usually using your blood.
Yeah. So it's fast and furious. I think that's the thing that has to be said about it.
I do also, one thing, we're talking about it being ultra violent, and the game opens and starts with an ultra violence bit, and this kind of comes into the blood. You start with 0 blood, and it's a pool you have to build up because you basically start dead.
Yeah.
You are dropped in a coffin from high altitude without a parachute and splattered on the floor with a with a vial of nun's blood, which then revives you. So you're effectively, well, you're a vampire, so you're dead anyway, but you're effectively annihilated and then revived. So start with hyperviolence and keep going.
The coffin fall scene was so funny.
It's just brilliant.
I love that.
Yeah. And
like
and that violence is like carries through because, I mean, it says, like, you know, punch the living shit out of Nazis and fascists left, right, and center. But the game is clear that there is calibration to the game to accommodate your players, because, you know, you're dealing with a setting which is rife with bigotry and violence and harm and so forth, and it does do a lot of good stuff on the with regard to that. So it's like, you know, maybe in the game, depending upon how your players are, there's never any like collateral damage done to bystanders who aren't Nazis, for example. So you could again, that's a calibration thing, depending on players' tastes. Again, I think that's quite similar to how we've always talked about calibrating. Again, talking about, like, I think this is why, if people are familiar with things like Warhammer 40,000, we've had these discussions before about that level of calibration, about, like, you're assholes, but in the grand scheme of things, you're assholes to
the right people.
Your main target is people that are more depraved and more vicious and more dangerous and hateful than even yourself. And that's a really, I think, a good jumping point, good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, the book is
about punching up.
Yeah, it's definitely punching up.
Yeah, the book is very good at kind of giving examples of, this is clearly wrong, you do not do this. Well, it doesn't give those examples, but it says, this region of stuff is clearly wrong, please don't do this. Anything else, start talking to your players, make sure everybody is good and stuff. And because it basically goes, the Nazis hated everybody, but you're also vampires.
Yeah.
You are monsters yourselves, but you're not those monsters. And I think, actually, thinking on that, that's a good thing to talk about, actually, the monsters versus the monsters.
Mm-hmm.
One thing they are very clear on in this book is you play the occult, weird-ass vampire undead monster. The Nazis are all humans. You do not get to blame what the fuckheads did because they were vampires.
Yeah.
Fuckheads did what they did because they were fuckheads.
It
No
feels
more than that.
almost. It feels almost like the whole book is almost a critical discussion of how V5 talks about Chechnya, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm fairly certain it was inspired by that.
yeah, right.
just a little.
And
obviously the current state of the world, but
and leading on from that, actually, the other thing is that all the playable characters are gender neutral terms with regard to them. You're not really there. You're within the context of the game. You do not have any time to explore deep player plot driven backgrounds and stuff like that, which seems to be. I saw a discussion about this recently by someone about how role-play gaming has evolved of late to change from being like people playing in sandboxes that are given by the GM to being like, I just want to explore my character's backstory and stuff, as that's what they want roleplay to be only about. And this doesn't give you chance for that. You are within the situation. That's what you deal with. And then the last thing, last important thing in it is that you don't need to resort to, bigoted descriptions described why someone's an asshole. Like, they're an asshole for plenty of reasons without having to resort to racism or sexism or homophobia or anything like that. And kind of related to that, to the topic of bigotry, it's like, if you can't do the accents of things, don't feel like you have to, like, or the example is, if you look at like TV series like Chernobyl and so forth, like, if you want someone to sound like they're a country bumpkin, well, you mostly know the accent of the country bumpkin for the country that you are native to in your native language. Like, if you want to get across that notion, do that rather than trying to do what you think is some rural German accent.
Yeah, it's. I think one of the things the book does incredibly well is go, we're going to do some really bad shit in this book and story. This is how to do it properly and how to be respectful to yourself, your players, and the history. Even though we're not doing the real history, and we can come to the storyline and things in a minute, but this is how you do it respectfully, and how you, at the table, make sure that everybody's great and happy. And us, people, listeners, what we're like. We like to keep people happy at the table and be respectful. And if you're not, we will punch you in the face for being a Nazi. I think the next thing, actually, before we kind of maybe delve into the story, is kind of on the mechanic side still, is the characters.
Yeah.
So the game itself starts out giving you 6 playable characters straight from the box. And they are beautiful, and they are wonderfully crafted, and they are a little bit hilarious. I want to play the doggy bat. So it's very much a pick up and play game. You can pick up, you don't have to think about character creation, the characters are there. And I got very worried when I first started reading, going, are these the only options? Nope. It does give you at the very end of the book, very briefly, how to create your own characters, which I think is quite good.
It does have the caveat that when they created these characters, they just kind of put stuff together and didn't think about power balance or anything like that. There was no system to this other than this looks cool. And so they kind of give you permission to do that in making your own character, to be like, this looks cool, awesome, do it.
Yeah. Remember, you're playing a supernatural psychopath. You are very much likely to be able to rip somebody's head off. The only people that you're going to have problem with are the final baddies. Everybody else is just a meat sack. So have fun. But the description of some of the characters are quite cool.
Oh God, yeah.
Generated. It fits kind of every genre of vampire you can think of in 6 characters. I want Chigg to play the cowboy.
I don't reckon I can do that very well.
Oh God. Let Chigg play. Let Chigg play who he wants to play.
Well, no, now it's been requested, so I got to do the voice.
No, we need to make him make a house character. He needs to make a vampire house for us.
So, I think leading on from that, the other thing which obviously the game allows you to take liberties with is, and when we're dealing with historical settings, and we know this from playing historical things like Vampire the Dark Ages, is this game doesn't give a shit about the historical of being too historically accurate in places, because ultimately you're playing vampires chasing down Hitler, who is using some occult science weirdness to create super weapons. So we're already outside of accuracy there. So I mean, first of all, you get given a narrative map of Paris, so the locations don't have to make sense with respect to each other.
They give me mild PTSD having been to Paris many times. Like,
Paris is weird.
That's not you. And now
Paris is a weird place anyway, because there's that Paris syndrome thing that people get where they feel like severely disappointed that Paris doesn't live up to.
Yeah, no, Paris is not a nice city. Paris is a shithole.
It's got nice areas, but
it's got nice areas.
It's kind of shit in places.
It's not that be all and end all lovely romantic place.
No,
most people trying to con the fuck out of you, steal your wallet, or I'll spit on you.
But anyway,
come to Lyon. It's much nicer.
So there's that respect, and then also the other thing is like you're going after Hitler in Paris because he's. And of course, he doesn't die in Paris in reality. So in that respect, it has a lot in common with like the film which they reference. They, the writers of the game have their opinion on the film Inglourious Basterds.
That was instantly when I was reading this.
Yeah,
you've just turned Inglourious Basterds into a vampire game.
Yeah. So in that respect, it's like that. Like in that film, spoiler: Hitler doesn't die at some fucking cinema, and in the same way, this, Hitler's not going to die at the location, in reality doesn't die at the location he does in this game. So yeah, all historical accuracy in many respects goes out the window. I think the only things that you can say that are still maintained historically accurate is Nazis are cunts and fascists and bastards and should all be killed. And that's what you should lean into rather than going like, oh, well, because this is
why is the Eiffel Tower over there, not next to the Louvre? It's like, well, because Hitler moved everything.
I would say other good reference points for the action and stuff would be like, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, because that's quite ultra violent as well. And it's British, a British special forces operation to take things out to do with the Nazis. So any other comments on like the setting, accuracy, topics, and so forth?
As somebody who has never been to Paris and is unlikely to go anytime soon, close enough is close enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not Parisian. I'm not even French. I know it's hard to tell with the accent, but so yeah, it's fine. It wouldn't bother me.
my suggestion kind of comes from my experience writing with Never Going Home, in that if you make it cool enough and like visual enough, nobody cares about the accuracy, and if you do, you're focusing on the wrong thing in the game. So as long as you I think the biggest thing that they say is, as long as you don't lean into the stereotypes of the characters for doing things, it is okay for you to kind of gloss over that you just don't know the streets of Paris in in this time period. It's okay. Have fun.
One of the things if you know a little bit, obviously if you know a little bit about the Second World War, you know there was the French Resistance, who were massive in all parts of France, and they built secret networks and tunnels across cities, across the countryside, through houses and things. Like, if you don't know the cities, like, well, how do I get from here to here? It's like, well, the French Resistance built a tunnel, and also Paris is full of fucking tunnels anyway, full of dead people and skulls, which are really creepy. You've got the catacombs. We all know enough from horror movies and things to know that going underground, just like, how did it get from there to there when they're the other side of the city? Well, underground network. We can just something like that. Something super simple. Also, I just love the fact that he's put the Hindenburg on top of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, right.
I think there's some irony in that.
You think?
So, I mean, we've spoken a lot about the system. Is there anything else to bring up about that before we get into the general? Anything more we need to get into the general gist of it? Because otherwise, I think we're really into kind of like. I mean, I don't really want to get into the scenario itself too deep. I kind of want to get into kind of like, I feel like we should talk about it in kind of broader strokes, because the other thing that the game gives you is, like I said, while it also gives you the tools to go like, I want to make some other vampires and just, go crazy with it, is you can also have a lot of fun. It gives you jumping points for other fascists and bastards to kill in that time period. So, for example, let's go kill Franco, Mussolini, Stalin, etc. Like, Churchill, the king. I don't think it should end there. Like, you could go, well, we should maybe like go after the president, because they bombed Hiroshima. I think maybe the president needs to be taken out. Things like that. So yeah, like how should we approach this, like, about the scenario? I don't know who's read through this, because I have
not.
I've semi-read it.
It comes. Go ahead, Crystal. I'm sorry.
I was say I've read like how the missions are structured and like the opening scene, and that is it, because unless I'm running this, which I can run it, that's fine, I don't actually want to know what happens.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not running it, so I didn't read it.
It's like, I want to read it because I want to know what it is all about and what it's going through. But as we were saying, it's kind of like a book that gives you a setting and gives you the game. It's a whole in one. It gives you everything. So if you are a player, you read up to a certain point and then kind of have to stop, because otherwise you'll know what's going to happen. So I've not read the scenario. But I think we can see what it's going to do and where it's going to go. And I can quite easily just imagine how simple it would be to use that as a template and just transfer it elsewhere.
It's very much templated, and in some respects I think it's almost how I would go about writing scenarios I think it's very good when you're writing scenarios which, in this case, and I think this would be the same for if you wanted to take the approach with certain other games, is where you're essentially doing a theme park. You're doing a roller coaster where it's less about players trying to work out the crazy Byzantine kind of way through the scenario. You're just kind of trying to push them from each ride to the next to see all the rides, so that they finally get to the big splash zone, which happens to be full of blood. And each ride is essentially, we'll call each scene location, because it's locations, is a ride with a quick description, some highlighted kind of story elements to really push home what that scene's about, and then you've got an objective with a score, surprise surprise, some enemies which will also have some description or score about what's maybe particular about them, and then on top of that you will also have, for certain ones, like you might have a secondary objective that gets you some extra, get you some extra loot or so forth. And I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell, right? I mean, Crystal, you've looked at the first mostly the opening page, page 48, where it describes Sector 3, maybe not even that one.
42 to 40, what is it? 40, like 50.
Yeah, okay, cool.
That kind of outlines everything.
Yeah, so for example, we can take, because it's an obvious location that will be no surprise for anyone playing this game. Like, as we said, the Catacombs of Paris has a description which is about what the catacombs are like and how they're being used, and then the objective would be getting into and out of and navigating the catacombs, and the fact that there's going to be some infantry down there, and as it says, they're scared out of their wits because the catacombs are a spooky location to be, which is a really good fun place to maybe for your characters to start slaking their thirst, because they're just going to be running through the fucking catacombs, butchering Nazis left, right, and center. And you can just imagine it's just like, oh, they go down the corridor, and suddenly you're just like, I ambush one and take him into the darkness, and there's a blood-curdling scream. You top up however many blood points, and then you're just going down the list of soldiers there. Each time, some stereotypical Nazi Germanic thing being said, such as "oh my god," and then they're just another one dead, etc., etc.
I imagine you could have a lot of fun just running through the
another blood curdling scream. It's that kind of thing. Obviously, I also think in some respects, I think, and this is coming from as again with tuning it a bit as well, is I think you can also have a lot of fun with the scenario by taking some inspiration from, I feel like there's some inspiration you can take from, say, the British TV series Hello Hello. For the reason I say this, right? Hello, right? Let's back out a little bit and explain this. So I don't know if
how to explain this without being offensive.
So we don't get that out here.
Okay, so Hello was a TV series in the mid 80s,
late 70s, early 80s, yeah.
Right, and it centers around a French. It's in a village, and it's a French, a Frenchman who owns a cafe, and he's got his wife. He's also having an affair with the ladies that work at the cafe. So there's a whole kind of slapstick element of that. He's trying to keep the Nazis in town on side with him, so he can keep running his cafe fine, while also he's involved with the French resistance. And there's a whole slapstick about that because, something's always going a little bit wrong. At the same time, the Nazis...
the big boobies.
Yeah, the Nazis at the same time are incompetent in their own right. Yep. And they make plenty of jokes about the Nazis in that respect.
They also have two British servicemen
who are completely obnoxiously just British.
In their cellar.
It's like, what the fuck's going on here?
No, but obviously it's an English comedy, so they all speak English, but nobody understands the two English people because everyone is technically speaking French or German, and so the two English people are just sat in this cellar, trying not to get caught by the Nazis while nobody's understanding them.
And
it's
then on
absolutely insane.
And then on top of it, you've also got a British Secret Service agent who is masquerading as one of the town policemen. And so whenever he speaks, he says, because he's speaking English, but to get the point across that he's actually speaking French but wrong, they do clever wordplay. So the thing he'll say is like, "I was pissing nearby and I heard one of the Germans saying this," and so we would have wordplay like that. Like rather than passing nearby, he would be pissing nearby.
And he'd put on he would use a really posh English accent and then mix it in with a French, like a British tourist on holiday in France who doesn't speak French. And it's.
But I think the point I'm getting at is the portrayal of how incompetent the Nazis is could be used for hilarity as well, because you could go for somehow they're incompetent but completely evil incompetent if you needed to lighten the mood for a dark comedy element at some point, just to go, and then we murder these fucking idiots.
Yeah, I think like it's a game which it's written very tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
And I think you could take it two ways, really simply. You could just go ultra violent, let's just murder these mass murdering fuckheads, or you could lean into the kind of the comedy aspect that they are just dumb henchmen, kind of lean into the Austin Powers kind of stuff a little bit as well. So I think you could do that.
Like Hogan's Heroes, but British. I mean, that's another. Yeah, you could mostly. Yeah, I wonder Hogan's Heroes. That's the Chigg. When you said Hogan's Heroes in chat, that's the one with. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm aware of that. What's the other one I'm thinking of? There's no, that's a bit too late because that's Korea. Yeah,
it was about Vietnam. It was set in Korea.
Yeah. Yes. I'm trying to think of another one which is also good because it gives another example of how you could maybe go, well, just fuck it, and you can have a bit of if you wanted to have a little bit of anachronism in there, and that would be what is it? I'm trying to just look it up. Kelly's Heroes. Which is about a group of American soldiers that get wind of where some Nazi gold is, and they go off to steal it before their commanders arrive. But in that, you've got a character played by Donald Sutherland. You might be aware of like various horror films and so forth. And so I think, but his character he plays it almost as a bit of a hippie before hippies were even a thing. So again, I think you can be fast and loose with these things if it makes sense for how you want to play.
You could also there's a lot of theming, I suppose, in it, because one of the story aspects is Hitler's trying to create a super breed of werewolf from it. And so you could lean into a lot of the kind of like the late 90s, mid 2000s, dumbass, eye in sky kind of
shit.
Movies,
yeah.
Where you've just got Hitler doing dumb shit, like taking over the moon, Hitler riding a dinosaur, and lean into kind of like that aspect of it, and go down that complete aspect of it, but still remembering that they are humans, that they're the asshole humans. But you can go down that.
Is that what you could do if you were going to set it like, you're going to go after, what if Hitler got away? Like that's an alternative option. What if Hitler gets away,
goes to the
Argentina,
moon.
You have to chase him down, and now he's got like, he's in the jungle, he's some weird scientist is now, you go Dino Crisis, and he's now got like,
You're into Dr. Monroe, he suddenly becomes Dr. Monroe, and dinosaurs and shit. Yeah, I think you could lean into that.
Digging to the center of the earth to set up another Nazi base.
What's that other shite fucking horror film?
Which one? There's many.
There's many.
Narrow that one down.
There's what is it called? There's one that involves Nazis and
James Bond.
Not
James
Bond.
No, it's I think it's called Frankenstein's Army or something. I've just found it. Yeah. Let me just try and find the synopsis of this dumbass film.
I have never heard of this movie before.
Frankenstein's Army.
A squad of Russian soldiers must go to a remote East German village to locate missing comrades in the waning days of World War II.
There we go.
Plot to
Perfect.
resurrect fallen soldiers, the squad becomes the target of cobbled-together monsters.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the scores. 5.4 on IMDb, 5.4 on Prime, 5.4, and then they've got all the French ones as well. So
Yeah, but
it's
I mean,
not done well.
It falls into that thing of like, bad horror films can always be brilliant, like jumping points for making good role play scenarios, because obviously you can do it better. And there's it falls into that thing that this is one of many around about the same time period where there was a lot of what if Nazis were doing zombies, vampires, etc., in that genre of kind of like horror films.
Yeah, as I say, it's one of those things which is I quite like about it, because it kind of goes like it's you're fighting Nazis, but the occult side of the Nazis was also a thing that actually was real. And so
and the occult research that the Nazis was doing was batshit stupid. Like. So again, this falls into the thing of actually that's what the angle of hello, but with the occult fucking research angle.
Oh my god!
Complete comedy. It's like, we must find this book of ancient sorcery, which, however, also contains copious like explicit images, which obviously the Nazis go, yes, this is brilliant, and you're like, you disgusting, depraved assholes, let's kill you.
On a very side note for Chris here, one of the reasons the TV show ended was because the main actor got a plank through his forehead.
Oh,
like got a 6 foot, like an actual. He survived, and he's got, but he just got like a massive plank. My dad dressed up as that once for Halloween. I'm like, Dad, that's not great. You can't dress up as someone with a plank through their head.
I mean, it worked for Steve Martin.
But yeah, LOLO is classic 80s comedy for England. Do take it with a pinch of salt for it.
Oh yeah, it's of its time.
It's of its time, but it's something that me and Chris probably both grew up with.
I just think it's that jumping point for if you want to go wild
Nazi.
on about fascists in general. Is that fascists are stupid, and often, and of course the other thing is often that fascists are every accusation is them confessing what they're actually up to.
Louis Theroux's mansplaining movie where he just sits there and lets them talk.
So yeah, the scenario. So other things you can do with the scenario. What are the other locations, or I say other film inspirations? Danger 5 I've never watched. Inglourious Bastards obviously I've watched. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, terrible film. Rewatched it again recently. Terrible. But it's over the top.
Inspiration?
I think because it's fast and loose with geography and the supernatural and the occult. I mean, for fuck's sake, they did the whole thing about like, there's archways and tunnels under Venice that we're gonna bomb. It's not fucking possible. It certainly wasn't fucking possible then. It's not fucking possible when they did the Venice book for fucking World of Darkness back in the day.
That's where the Tremere Chantry is. It's magic.
No, it's not Tremere. It's they say, what was it? This is back in like second ed era, or maybe
Giovanni. Are they the ones that are
Giovanni have a fucking skyscraper in Venice? Are you fucking kidding me?
It depends whether it's on the island or on the main.
No, it was on the fucking island.
Oh, you fucking idiots! Jesus.
Suicide Squad, yeah, because that's basically what you are. And then Hellsing as an anime totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Games, a game called Wushu, which is an RPG which from the 2000s. I've never read, but I have heard very good things about. Hollow Point, I've not picked up on. Die, which they said is very good with the which
is that Die as in the one that they created an RPG about?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you use another RPG.
Is that Die the comic book, or is that Die?
It's related to the comic book as well by Kieran Gillen.
Well, the comic book and the RPG were released at the same time. They were meant to be a tie-in. So.
Havoc Brigade is obviously the game which this takes the rule set from. But where you play orcs, you have to kidnap a prince. So yeah, again, punching up. Wolfenstein, which makes sense in terms of computer games.
Yeah.
And then as I think actually, everything that we know from playing and talking about Wrath and Glory, I think fits in. Like you could easily look at this through the lens of you're playing a murder hit squad of Astra Militarum, what are they called? Kassakin or something, and you're going in and your aim is to take out some Imperial
Lord who's turned to chaos.
Who's turned to chaos and has been doing depraved things along the way, and you're just going to have to kill everyone along the way to get there. Do you care about their geography? No, because a hive city is fucking insane. Do you have time to map out a hive city? Fuck no.
And if it all goes wrong, you just call down the big red button and nuke the entire fucking thing.
Well, that's mostly how it will end anyway.
Yeah.
And then the final, like we said, the other things that it says that you can do is like, what's the one? Making the pain run on time, which is where you go after Mussolini, and so you go to Italy and enjoy Rome.
Mussolini, the only person who goes, I'm going to live here. I can't see I can't see the Colosseum. So let's just destroy every fucking house between where I live and the Colosseum. That's one big long straight road in the center of Rome because he wanted to see the Colosseum from his house.
There's Hirohito, which is where you go to Japan to take out the emperor, which is going to give you your. You go very anime with then, obviously.
Franco, going after Winston Churchill.
Yeah, Franco, which means you're going to go after. Go to Spain and go to Barcelona and have fun. I love Barcelona, so that's great.
It's a great city. They've nearly finally finished that fucking cathedral.
It is finished.
It's not quite. They've put the top on it, but it's not actually finished.
Yeah. Then they've got. You can go after Winston Churchill in you Winston and you lose some, which is great. And then they go after the king. But I don't think you can stop there. Like I think you can mostly take. I think you can take the notion of this game and transplant it into any time period where there's fascists and assholes to kill.
Yeah, I think you could go backwards, forwards in time. So you could go back to 1912 and start fighting in 1912 at the rise of the First World War and stuff, and fight Bismarck and stuff. Or you could go even further back into the American Civil War, actually shoot some rednecks and kill some rednecks. Or if you don't like the British, go after the British. Fuck them. They were assholes in the 1800s in America, so fuck them. As long as you're always fighting the bad people.
Yeah.
Remember that. Always fight the bad people.
Any other thoughts from Chigg and Chris? I know.
I mean, American history, you could do anything with oppression and destruction of the Native American tribes.
Same with Canada.
Yep.
You go after Nixon. That'd be fun.
Nixon or
Reagan.
Fucking Reagan. Or current administration.
Cyborg, the true Iron Lady.
In this game, current administration in this game.
In this game.
Legal purposes.
In this game. If Chigg and I disappear, you know where we went. Yeah, I am really looking forward to playing this game.
I really want to
a lot.
I've convinced some people here in France to play it, so
I want to commit imaginary acts of violence against Nazis.
I think also, as I said, I think it's completely. I think it's also completely hackable to other genres as well. Like I think you could easily do a serial numbers filed off Warhammer 40,000 Heartbreaker with this.
Oh, absolutely.
It'd be no trouble.
You could quite easily do a Interstellar, even just like within like a couple of 100 years from now. Nazis in space kind of bullshit. It's such a simple concept of what they've done, with such a simple rule set with what they've done, that I think you can just kind of put it wherever you want to go.
I think the take-home message is you've got to have characters that have clear purpose within the context of the game and the scenario, and you don't really have chance for the characters to breathe too much. Like you have to go from encounter to encounter.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I've tried to wrap my head around, because I'm just not used to doing this kind of stuff a little bit, is they talk about the crash scene where you just drop into Paris and you're dead and then you're alive. And they're like, give them a few minutes to at least wake up and then start shooting them. So as soon as you land and you are in there, you are automatically kind of thrown into the combat. There's no build up to it. It is from the get-go all the way through to the very end. So it's ultra violent. It's ultra satirical to some extent. There's comedy. Most of this, me and Chris have just been talking about comedy for the entire thing. But I think the other main theme that it leans into is that the humans are the shitheads. You can play the monsters and know you are a monster because you have to eat people, but the real shitheads are what we do to ourselves sometimes. Which is
hey. You may be a monster, but you don't have to eat people. There are Nazis available.
Yeah,
exactly.
In some respects, I feel like this game is the perfect primer for people to then play Vampire the Masquerade. As in, let's get that bullshit out of your system first, right? let's get this out of your system first, and then
do the D&D murder hobo
now
first.
You understand the message, which is you're vampires, but humans are capable of so much worse. It then lets you from there calibrate your vampire game much easier because you know what people's expectations are.
Absolutely.
Well done to the team there for making it the perfect primer for Vampire.
I think it's a fantastic game. The book itself is just an absolute joy to look at.
It should have won way more awards.
Yeah, I looked at it yesterday for the first time since I actually got it when it came out, and I just was sat there going, I'd forgotten how beautiful it actually is.
As a physical product, it's fucking awesome. Like, I'd say you get like the character pack that comes with it, as there has like 3 copies of each character sheet as fold outs. So you've got and then you've got 6 copies of the dice mechanic sheet with room for notes on the inside, and then you've got the maps. So it's
also only 70 odd pages long, so it's a really short book
as well.
Yeah, it's not big.
It is. You can pick it up for 25-30 quid in England,
pretty much,
and self-contained game straight out of the book. No faffing about.
It very much follows the every single sentence should have meaning or purpose behind it within the game, whether it's advancing the story or explaining the mechanics. There is not a lot of fluff in here at all.
Well, the advantage is we don't because of
We all know
of
what a
using
Nazi
a
is.
known historical setting, it has
Yeah.
the advantage that you don't need to waste words on that, which is a good. It's kind of a good lesson for if you're writing your own stuff as well. For like, I guess the lesson there is if you are writing stuff for like World of Darkness kind of products and you're doing something using a historical setting or events, you can gauge just how many words do you need to waste on it, because it's like, because let's be honest, like again, looking back at certain World of Darkness books, Jesus Christ, it's like, is this a game book or is this a history book? Because I don't know which at sometimes.
Yes, to both.
Yeah.
Which is why they're 300 pages long.
Well, you got to charge people for something. Have we covered everything? I don't know.
I think we'll go back to the only bad point in the book, and I hope
It doesn't tell you what dice to use.
Yes.
Fuck
you, Grant. If you're listening, tell us. Put it in the book.
Yep,
Sorry,
that
to me, that's the only bad point about the entire book.
That is literally my only bad point too. Last night I was reading through everything again, and I'm like, wait, I know this is D6s, but where does it say that? Why is this a downfall?
Wait, are there other kinds of dice that you could use?
I mean,
Shut
yeah.
up.
As somebody who's coming, only from ever having played like Yahtzee or Monopoly, I didn't even realize that there were other kinds of dice.
As long as you're an orc player in 40k, you've got enough dice for anything.
Or Shadowrun of any edition ever.
Oh shit! That's a very good point, David. This reskins for a
Orcs on tour.
Orcs on tour so easily, and you know what? I think yeah, you could easily run if you just need to do if you know Warhammer 40,000 again, or actually even any fantasy setting really well that has orcs or an analogous kind of boisterous kind of species in the setting that you can role play.
Drunk fungus.
Then this is perfect for it. Like, to play a bunch of boisterous orcs rampaging through a hive to do some good crumping and to rescue, I don't know, someone like your weird boy Waz Dagger Snotsmack or something like that. This is the perfect thing for it.
Oh, right. So hang on, I have to ask a question now. So this is obviously based off the Havoc system, which is on an open license from Rowan. Can you actually write your own reskins of Eat the Reich? Is that part of the OGL or not?
I don't think so at this point.
Final thing. Let me have a look.
Because I know they're obviously doing Die is starting to become an OGL. I think that's the main thing they're working on at the moment. And I know the Resistance system obviously is very much open system. I'm just not sure how much you can reskin Eat the Reich, because I want to write this, Chris. I want to write the Orcs on Tour version of Eat the Reich.
My guess would be it is not at this point, because I feel like they're probably trying to establish the mechanics system first before they throw it out there.
And they obviously, at the moment, they are going through the currently on Kickstarter. It might have finished.
Okay,
there's a new Die.
I'm looking at the page now, so I will give the details. So
absolutely.
Here goes. Eat the Reich. So you can use Eat the Reich and use the title Eat the Reich. If it is Eat the Reich, then you can create fan supplements, hacks, and modules that are compatible with the core game and setting, either for free or monetized. This includes modules for virtual tabletop platforms, and you can reference and reuse the mechanics and game rules of the game that you're working on, and translate the character sheets from the core book from Eat the Reich, so long as you credit Rowan, Rook, and Decard. And as long as you don't use or translate all or substantial parts of original Eat the Reich, use company or our game logos, claim your product is official or licensed unless they've given you written permission, give the impression that any of your own work or anyone else's or ours is Will Kirby's, or make something or act in a way that is illegal, fascist, racist, or anything else. So in other words, if you go against the
premise of
the sentiment of it, you can use the Eat the Reich logo. You can recolor, resize to fit your needs, but you cannot substantially alter it. So in other words, you can just say it's Eat the Reich compatible product.
Yeah.
You can reuse these assets. Anything in this folder, there's a specific folder.
Oh, nice.
Which I can.
Oh, they give you
here.
assets. Nice.
And
Wow.
properties necessary to reuse. What's in that folder? There's some art assets. Oh, that's lovely.
Rook and Decard are clearly should be way bigger than they actually are because they know how to do their shit.
This product there's obviously the caveat line of how this product works. You must include this line about copyright. You can also live stream podcasts, actual plays, blah 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 blah. As long as you
good, that works out well for us.
Yeah.
Shit! Cancel the episode.
As long as you don't allow the non-playable character of Hitler to speak at any point. Well, yeah. What's he going to say of any use?
Ow, my liver!
Stop hitting me with my stick.
Sorry, I just thought of the bit in Family Guy where it's him and his watchcaller trying to commit suicide, and they're just seeing who takes the pill first. It's terrible, but no, it's not terrible because it's just like, no, you do it. No, you. It's just so ridiculous. You can use the assets on screen. Anything in this folder is okay to use on screen. So that is the Eat the Reich logos and the art assets. So obviously you can show whichever character. So that's very useful.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now, furthermore, going onwards, the Havoc Engine. If it's the Havoc Engine, you can create anything you like based upon the Havoc Engine tools and principles you provide. As long as you don't use the company logo, except for crediting them, claim that the product is official or licensed. And we really like it if you acknowledge that you use the Havoc Engine in some way, link back to Havoc Engine on our website. You can use this following logo and logos found in this file. You can say product name is powered by Havoc Engine, blah, 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 Rook and Decard. So yeah, we can make Havoc Engine derived properties.
Why is there not more products out there using this?
Right.
I think one of the things that happened when this game came out, because of the modern fucking state of this depressing shithole that we live in, this game has a quite clear statement in it, which is fuck fascism, fuck the far right, and fuck Hitler, and fuck Nazis.
Yeah.
So many racists outed themselves by going, this is a great game, but can you remove the politics from it? There was a
that
massive
makes me
amount...
want to use it more.
I know, and I think this is why we should have done this years ago, and I don't know why we didn't, but
we were busy.
Yeah, if you go to drive through TTRPG and look at some of the reviews on there, it's a little bit depressing. But there was this kind of mild kickback from people outing themselves as racists about it.
Yeah.
So, and I think because it is very much a theme, it has limited its impact. Whereas any games that have not overtly stated it's in like the first 3 pages, it's okay to punch a Nazi in the face. And it states that it's okay to hate Nazis in real life. They deserve to be hated and they deserve to be punched, and you can do violence towards them. I think that kind of puts a lot of people on the back foot a little bit.
Weak, absolutely weak. Anyway,
let's fucking do it.
It is. I'm trying to look up something because I think Morkborg actually came out around the same time.
I think Morkborg was a little bit earlier.
By the Morkborg.
Yeah, I think it got buried by Morkborg.
No, Morkborg came out.
I'm not saying Morkborg is bad at all.
You just said
it was earlier. It was earlier. I think it was like 2 years earlier. So it would have come out during that time.
I think 2022.
It was like 22. Okay, and then this was the year after.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, when did hold on, let me find on Drive for RPG. When did the actual Havoc
gang?
Oh, that I don't know. This is a lot of research that goes on to using stuff and trying to figure out the history of RPGs and why things are affected the way it is. This is a live study on this. Well, not live for you guys, but recorded study on this. This is a lot of what
This is how we plan our episodes.
I do this a lot.
Havoc Brigade came out in. It has a 25-page count. Wow. Came out in 2014. It's fucking
Jeez.
ancient.
Wow.
Whoa.
It's fucking ancient.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, I mean,
Oh, well, that explains it. That's when 5th edition came out. So Dungeons and Dragons stole the market share.
Well, and yeah, 2014.
Okay, Rook and Decard, fucking look at your release schedule and try not to get your things buried.
OGL wasn't a big thing then either. So
No.
yeah,
No.
it absolutely wouldn't have been a thing. That would have been even on there.
3rd edition D&D.
But it's been for D&D for the most part. Not a lot of people were doing OGLs because they didn't want to throw their stuff out there without knowing that it's going to bring them back something, right?
Mm.
So yeah, that absolutely makes sense that it would have taken this long.
Yeah.
You need to do more stuff with this, Rowan, Rook and Decard, please.
Well,
please hire us. Please hire us.
I would happily.
I want to write stuff with this system. It sounds so much fucking fun.
I've already pinged. Hamilton, who I'm doing the Imperium Maledictum stuff with. Series with, because obviously he's done layout and stuff for his own self-published work and does art as well for his own book. So I feel like, and he's right now, I can say, cobbling together stuff for original artwork for the Imperium Maledictum stream. So he's got. I think if there's scope, I'm gonna bug him and be like, "You want to do something?" Like, we've got about 3 or 4 of us here who can easily just go, "Let's write about orcs or / Astra Militarum kill teams by some other fucking name, butchering space fascists left, right, and center." And I think we could go pretty hard on that.
I think we're fucking good.
That
Anyway,
would be hilarious.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to
available
us
to you. So if you're listening to this, then get writing, because it's a fucking simple system.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is that I think you could clearly use it for any game that requires you to push players through effectively the theme park concept, where they don't have time to stop. They just have to get on each ride as they go and hopefully not throw up as they go along the way. Yeah. How political you get in the framing of that story is up to you, but I think you may as well make it as political and punching up and anti-fascist, anti-bigotry, and whatever flavor theme you go for, because I think that keeps it on brand with Eat the Reich, and the reason why people that enjoy Eat the Reich will go, "Oh, what? We get to punch the fuck out of fascists in a different setting? Fuck yeah!" Like, you're telling I get to kill them with some crazy orcoid fungus cannon? Okay, I'm in.
I mean, as you were talking about that, I was like, why don't you just make like a Zombieland hack with it, with like fascist clowns? Where you're literally going on the rides to defeat them.
Hands up. I mean, I've played. Obviously, I think the other thing you could do really well with this is, having played recently Res Evil 9, so Resident Evil Requiem. You just do Resident Evil with the serial numbers filed off, going after the fascist, military industrial complex, bioweapons pharmaceutical company, not Umbrella.
Yeah, just drop into that as a bunch of.
If their name might happen to like rhyme with something like AstraZeneca or like Pfizer.
Astra or something like that.
Or similar. That's not my problem. That's yours. But
And when they try to sue you for stealing them, I'm like, oh, so you are a bunch of fascist Nazis. Okay, cool for admitting that. Thank you.
Or if we want to go down the other route of it, and I think is super thematic, and obviously I think you still need to introduce some horror element into this. You know, there's also the likes of Sam Altman and those type of people in our world who clearly, you know, are, and the speeches from Palantir you could make some very good not real thematic satirical timely discussions about
tech bros
billionaires controlling the world and the fight back in some form by vampires or ghosts or possessing people or something like that. That would be kind of fun.
I actually like that idea.
I think that's a fucking fantastic idea, and the way that it should be done.
Now that we've acknowledged it, Chigg, you need to do your pitch.
What's your pitch, Chigg?
We're going to combine some ideas here. So we're going after a giant pharmaceutical company that turns people into killer clowns. That's right. We're going after the big tent.
Fucking hell.
There we go.
And now the big tent wouldn't happen to also just have red and white striping on it by any chance.
I mean, it's a circus tent, so traditionally.
And it's raining a lot, and you might need it for cover.
And their logo is the tent as seen from above, yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes place in it takes place in Trash Panda City.
Trash Pandopolis.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, no, you said that. I just thought of the ridiculous if you really want to go really fucking weird. Right. This is really off the wall. This was brought up because Sam was saying the other day that she saw a discussion somewhere online about someone saying that people got asked at this person at turn up to a party that was meant to be Disney princesses. The theme of the party was Disney princesses, and this person dressed up as Jessica Rabbit. Like, she's not a Disney princess. She's like, she fucking is, right? Because if you know anything about the background of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and now I've just had the idea of, right, what if you did, and obviously with the new Wile E. Coyote film finally fucking coming out, is everyone's a fucking toon going after the big corporate animation media's powerhouse that wants to take out Toontown because it's like no longer wants them, and you can be a whole roster of toons that date from like the 1950s. So you are toons that were clearly born during World War II. So you actually did fight in the wars as using your toon powers, which you now use to fight back against the corporate,
overlords that created
megalords. So
the frozen head of Walt Disney is the final boss.
Yeah, so you'd be like, well, what weapons have you got in your entourage? Well, I happen to have a Acme portal black hole, which you just chuck and people fall into and get turned into red mist. Or
I thought you threw it at people. Now they have a big giant hole in their chest.
Yeah, right. Or the obnoxious. You've got a sword that the classic one out of Roger Rabbit is the sword,
the bendy sword,
the bendy sword that fucking sings, and it sings like Frank Sinatra. But also, as we know, or it could sing, or it might be the sword has an accent that is that you say is based on like I don't know, like Christopher Lee. And as we know, Christopher Lee knows how people sound when they get stabbed in the back. Because we know what Christopher Lee's background is.
He was a fucking Nazi hunter.
So that's my other pitch. That's my other pitch.
Legend.
Is we do hyperviolent toon versus the corporate overlords.
Fuck yeah.
I feel like the more you swing one way into like the comedy or the absurd, the further you can swing into the hyperviolent.
Well, yeah.
If you look at some of the there's some really weird ass fucking things that have been coming out over the last couple of years where they've been bringing in toons into TV shows and movies, and they tend to be really fucked up.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the boys
Happy
does
or
it.
whatever it was called, where you got the guy who's going off randomly killing people and he's all on drugs and he's seeing things and it's
The boys
Happy,
does it in an
the
early
Happy
season.
Time Murders.
Happy Time Murders and stuff like that. Yeah, it's fucking
Yeah.
weird. It's great.
Yeah, the boys does it where one of the characters, Black Noir, has like kind of existential crisis type shit, and and his best friends are cartoons, and they are classically drawn, which is like amazing.
So anyway, if nobody wants to play Eat the Rich, at least we've given you about 6 million ideas to create your own games as well. Eat the Reich.
Eat the Reich.
Eat the Rich. Eat the Reich. Same but different.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say the other thing is you could most probably also. My other idea is you could mostly do a hack which you could base on like Tron, where you play the hacking programs of hackers versus the financial system of whatever corporate overlord, and then you just do hyperviolence with a lot of like computer game inspiration.
So that's why Windows doesn't work.
Yeah, right. Right. Is that it?
I think we could go on for a lot longer on this, but
Final question to the panel.
uh-oh.
Would you play this game?
Yeah.
Well,
Fuck yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Why was that a question?
Just a question that I like to ask whenever we review RPGs.
Chigg,
Well,
would you
yeah.
play this game?
Yeah, you got to
Oh
answer that
God,
question
no,
too.
no, 100% no, absolutely against the themes, everything that this game stands. Yes, of course I would play this game. I'm gonna play
Chigg
this. We're gonna
cancelled.
play this game.
Okay. So Eat the Reich, I can tell you right now, is if you want to buy the hard copy, which is I think the version you have to buy.
Yeah, I don't think there's a soft cover version.
Like who the fuck
I don't
wants to
think.
buy anything else? Eat the Reich in soft cover plus PDF is 25 quid. That's pretty fucking
That's
good.
really cheap.
If you want the bundle, which is where you get also the character sheets, you add an extra £10 on.
This is from Rook and Decard.
Yeah, direct. Because if you're gonna buy it, you may as well try and get it as direct as possible, so they get more thing. And then on top of that, you can get some obnoxiously fucking colored dice that they do for the game for about 45 quid. There's some obnoxiously looking dice.
I'm always here for some obnoxious dice.
Yeah, so that's fun. So yeah, you know. So don't be surprised if we cook up something and might try and publish something at some point.
We're definitely going to play this.
Yeah,
at some point too. So
we will definitely be playing this.
You could also do. I mean, there's so many things you could do. Like, I think you could also do. You could do a Die Hard ripoff on this quite easily.
That would be amazing. It'd be hilarious.
You can buy patches. They do patches as well. Sorry.
Yeah.
And pins and all sorts of stuff. All those dice.
Miracles do happen at Christmas. It just happens to be a bunch of vampires in a high-rise building filled with terrorists who are actually in reality just fascists.
They're crypto-fascists.
Crypto-fascists.
And then you bring in the Red Dwarf.
That's nice. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Anything else to finish on then? That's going on. That's of interest.
Fuck Nazis. That's
Fuck Nazis.
that's my whole reason for wanting to do this.
Remember, kids and children, it's okay to kick a Nazi in the nuts.
Other stuff coming out. I will be trying to record finally some more Heroes and Villains of War Machine with Hamilton on Theatre Macabre. He's editing currently, so there will be the first of a series of the Macarian conspiracies, which is Imperium Maledictum. That's proving to be fucking hilarious. We've also got what else coming out? I've put out some I've got an unboxing to finish videoing, editing for War Machine. I will be at some events. I will be at
Steam.
Lock and Load EU in Sheffield. That is in the middle of next month for all 3 days. I taking part and taking some video and interviews. That's the War Machine Iron Kingdom's official European convention at the Magna Science Centre, which is very industrial. I am also going to be at UK Games Expo on the Friday, working for Steamforge Games. I'm running War Machine demos all day, so you can come over and talk to me about that and talk to me about Iron Kingdoms. Anything else going for? And at some point, I'm waiting for PeachCon to be locked in for when that is, and hopefully we'll do something for. We'll try and get down to Dragon Meet this year. That's my plan. From your end, is there anything cool and new out?
Yes. So I am finalizing my schedule for Origins Gaming Convention, which is going to be in Columbus, Ohio. I am running at least 2 panels, and I'll be around doing some other things. Also, Gen Con is going to be coming up very quickly in August, or end of July, beginning of August, and I'll be running stuff there too. Night City, Welcome to Night City just came out, which we have the review up for. I wrote on that. I also have 2 scenarios for Everyday Heroes through Evil Genius Games. One is slashers, so The Final Hero, and the other one is Aliens, which is Water is Life. I have, what else coming out? Festival of the Forgotten is going to be coming out through Storyteller Forge soon, very soon. I wrote just a small thing that is a teaser for the next book for it, as well as it ended up being a voiceover project too, which was pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Other than that, I do have some things in the work, but I am under NDA for those, so I can't talk about those just yet. I can't wait till I can, though, because they're awesome.
Same. There's some NDA stuff which I'd love to chat about, but can't right now. There's some very exciting things in the process. David, anything from your end?
Sorry, one other thing. One other thing. I participated in Pocket Quest, which is you make a mini game that is set to be launching in the first week of May. I can now officially announce the title because it's all done. It's going to be I Am Still Mad About the Library of Alexandria, and it is a solo journaling adventure game. So,
no shit. I'm still mad about that as well.
It is a great one.
So, yes, you can pick it up as soon as Pocket Quest launches. So, all right, I am done.
Cool. I'm going to be at UK Games Expo for the entire weekend because I've got lots of people I need to catch up with. And turn around and go, look, I'm back in Europe. I'm available to write stuff. I'm not living in shit countries anymore. Please hire me to do some writing. I have some plans to do some work and writing, but nothing as yet is in stone. And just kind of talking like this has got my juices going. So I have some ideas for some more Versen stuff that I want to do, and I'm back in playing. I've been running the Black Madonna for Cult, which has been talking about Nazis. One thing people who run the Black Madonna don't seem to realize is it is all about fucking Nazis. So be aware about that. And you do get to murder them, so it's okay. But yeah, I'm hoping to get back into things now. I'm back in a sensible country.
Yay!
Well, I say sensible. They still have far-right fuck nuggets here, but
yeah. So I think that's it for this episode.
Chigg, does Chigg have anything?
Chigg?
He's not going to Gen Con this year, so
I unfortunately will not be at Gen Con this year.
Boo.
Whoa.
Me neither. Even the year I went, I wasn't there.
I know, I was very sad about that.
I was incredibly pissed off about that. Get off a plane. Oh, I've got COVID. Oh, I feel like shit. I'm going to have to stay in the Airbnb for the entire fucking weekend.
Yeah. Oh, God.
As somebody who's still never had COVID, I appreciate your sacrifice. Thank you.
How did you not get COVID? I thought everybody that year got COVID at Gen Con.
No, I didn't get COVID that year at Gen Con.
I have an inhuman, robust immune system. I don't know how I avoided it.
Inhuman. I think
developed
that's
by
the
the US health system. Clearly,
I'm the success story, the one.
There's another thing for Eat the Reich.
Oh wow!
Taking on the American health insurance companies.
Ah, that's interesting.
And that when you are the zombies.
Oh, that's actually really good. Zombies going after health insurance people
because you're pissed off that they fucked you over and turned you into the zombies. All their medical shit that they didn't give you turned you into the zombies.
Yeah.
So you have to kill them.
Yeah, they let you die of clearly preventable zombieism. So now you're going after them.
Booyah! And on that note.
Right, okay, that's on that note, that is the end of this episode. As always, questions, comments, opinions, darkerdaysradio@gmail.com, www.darker-days.org. You can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Blue Sky. I do need to make use of Blue Sky a lot more because that is feeling like the better
It's old school Twitter. It's old school Twitter.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Old school Twitter is good. New school Twitter, bad. You can obviously come over to our Discord, chat about things there. Go over to our Instagram. You will mainly, I haven't upgraded the Instagram a lot more. We need to post more shit there other than just me with toy soldiers. But you can come over to there and look at shit like that.
I keep forgetting to take pictures of things.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Pictures of nice books and stuff. I think that's something we could always do. We can always actually. That's a really good suggestion. I mean, for the entire team is we've got between the lot of us, we've got like huge RPG collections of things.
I collect PDFs, not books.
Well, yeah, but where possible. I mean, I think chucking up a picture and maybe a short form like why you love it could be really good for the Instagram and a good talking point. For the gram, but that's basically it for now. So thank you, Crystal, David, Chigg, for doing more of the reading. I mean, I read the book. I just had to dive back into it very quickly to read it. We will get a game run. I'm perfectly happy to run it as well because I have read it back to back, and I will bring my finest Warhammer 40,000 approach to how you deal with fascists in there.
Kick him in the nuts.
It's basically what's on tour. I think that would be a really good one. Anyway, and we will come back. If you got suggestions of games for us to do deep dives on, we will do that. Have we got any ideas of other ones we want to do a deep dive on?
Another one from Crystal. Black Ballad.
Oh yeah, Black Ballad. Yep.
Yeah.
They just released what is it? Shadow.
They just finished the Kickstarter for Shadow.
Yeah. I forget the name of the system. Shadowborn. That's what it is. And then there's going to be other systems that we're going to be doing that we can definitely talk about other than 5th edition. What we can do is we can also just, do the setting and then play around with the different mechanics and stuff like that, because the setting is awesome.
I'm also keen at some point seeing mostly the other side of Lock and Load when I think a few more details will mostly be definitely confirmed. I want to get it fully confirmed. Is that Steamforged Games of voice that they want to go back to the 2D6 system for Iron Kingdom.
Yes, let's talk about that.
So it'd be good to do a return to that because
I think we could do a good dive on the rules and things for that. Yeah.
I have opinions on how the system can also be
improved,
potentially refreshed, improved in places. But
yeah,
I mean,
we've spoken about that.
Other games. I'm trying to think of other.
I wouldn't mind maybe at some point if people are interested in this is looking at the replicant rebellion side of Blade Runner.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That's the better side of Blade Runner, I feel.
I also want to do because obviously we did the Star Trek playthrough that one time. Because it uses the system, I need to really fucking sit down and read it at some point. But again, it's just having time. Is Cthulhu, the Lovecraftian Roman Age game? Because I think again that kind of fits into what we've been talking about, which is just have fun with the setting. You don't need to be completely accurate that the Gauls weren't actually in this part of Europe at the time. Fuck you. You just get on with having fun.
It's a fucking game.
They also didn't have access to Shub-Niggurath, and yet here we are.
How do you know? Did you time travel back to then?
I'm real old, man. I keep telling you guys, I'm very old.
Just because you're bald.
And then also, I'll just say, because the other nice, I think the last thing to close out on is, if I actually find my community content page, is because I will just say it has been very nice how much that people are still happily buying the PDFs that we've put out on Drive-Thru RPG for Vampire the Masquerade and Chronicles of Darkness over fucking ages ago now. And I know we've not done any more with it, and I think that's just because of life, the times, etc., etc. But like, just speaking personally off the credit that is built up from that, it has led to being able to just every so often buy a PDF for this game or that game, or to buy some new toy soldiers. So it's greatly appreciated that people still buy these fucking scenarios.
Yeah.
So some of them are doing really quite well. Like
we've got platinum bestsellers now.
Yeah, it's great.
That's better than some people do, which is amazing. So that's pretty impressive for that. And so I guess we leave it there.
Bye.
If there's nothing else. So goodbye for now, and we'll be back with more stuff. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.